Hi, my name is Abigail Gerber, and this is my Weebly website. So this first page is just a little about myself and why I want to become a teacher. And so I have some pictures of me working with students and some pictures of my artwork. And then on this next tab here are my reflections that I've done throughout my instructional technology course. And there should be about 15 of them. This first one is educational technology. Top 10 tools is a presentation. And then the flipped classroom is a podcast. Student videos is a video of myself explaining for that week. We have creativity in the classroom. Technology management is also a podcast. And yeah, so I just have about 15 of those reflections. And this third tab is my first year goals, which I hope to complete either in my student teaching semester or my first year teaching. And they just go over how I want to integrate technology into my classroom and the tools I'm going to use to do it. And so then in my EAT portfolio, I have my Connected Educator Plan, which I'm still working on. Then I have my PLC, which I'm also still working on since I haven't had that experience yet. And then I have my Pictures tab, which just has what I've made in Canva and more pictures of me working with students and my artwork. And obviously, I'll gain more of those as I go on in my teaching career. This is my PLN. It has my Pinterest, my Instagram, and my Facebook, and just tells a little bit about what's on those. And links to those are in each of those categories and down below on the bottom. And then next, I have my personal reflection. This is just a reflection practice I've done in a lot of my education classes, and it just helps me examine what I'm doing right and what I feel like I need to work on. And I think it's just a good practice to do in any class. And then I have my field experience descriptions. And so my first one's Goodrich Middle School. And then I have a St. John's Middle School link down there as well. And then I have my philosophy of education, which is just explains how I view technology integration into the classroom. And then there's a video down below of me also talking about that. Next is my resume. It's a pretty standard resume. I hope to gain more experience tutoring and teaching before my professional semester and before I apply for jobs. But this is my resume, and then I just have a link down below that goes to a better view of my resume. And then after that, I have sample lesson plans. So the first thing I have is just a lesson template, which is just a basic template you can use for any lesson really. And then I have art lessons that use technology, so I have animation using GIFs, illustrations lesson, and a monochromatic triptads lesson. So these are the tools and stuff I've learned about so far in my education, and this is augmented reality with Color Alive. It's by Crayola, and it just brings your drawings to life. This is coding. I don't actually have coding on this page. This is just Breakout EDU is a game, Breakout, and then 3D design and printing, it kind of goes along with coding. This is done by, I have a Tinkercad example on there. And then I have collaborative learning, and my example for this is Padlet. I think Padlet's great for educators and students to just share ideas and discuss with each other. And then next I have my digital repositories, and the first thing is the G Suite. This is just basically all your Google apps, and on here I have Google Maps and Google Forms, but you can have Google Drive, Google Slides, all that. And then I have my YouTube. It just has my YouTube playlist that I hope to use in my future classroom, and a link to my YouTube channel. And then lastly, on this little thing, I have social bookmarking. The first link is to my Digo, and you can find all of the links that I've saved that I find helpful along with other people's links. And then I have other links to the SAMR model and just what it explains what that is. After that, I have digital assessments, and the first example I have is Nearpod, and it's basically a slideshow that has interactive activities for the students to go along with. Edpuzzle is a video. It has questions, and then Google Forms, of course, you can make any quiz or form out of for students to use. After that, I have digital storytelling. So the first thing I have on here is book creator, and then I made a watercolor lesson out of this book creator, and then I made a presentation over why you should use the SAMR model. And book creator is just a really nice website to help you create books and presentations. I have a 5-picture story. This was a really fun activity that you pick 5 pictures, 5 random pictures, and you have to make a story out of it, so it helps with creativity building and just a nice brain break in class. Story Jumper is you make your own book over any topic you want. I did a My Monster book as an art lesson. Paper Slides is a presentation style, and I did a lesson over the elements of art, which you can find on my YouTube. And then I also did a stop motion lesson using a stop motion app, and you can find the example video I made on my YouTube as well. And lastly, I have a poem, a haiku poem. That's just a fun way for kids to be creative and write poems and learn how to write in the haiku format. For presentation tools, I have My Simple Show, and this is just a really fun website that helps you animate slideshows and put voiceovers on them. Next, I have Google Slides /Prezi, and so I made my Google slide, and then you can insert that into Prezi, and you can make like an animated slideshow with voiceover and video on that as well. And then next I have a Wakelet. This is your typical social media format feed for students to see what they're doing for lessons. And then I have infographics. These first 2 are just example infographics over technology and education and art therapy. And then this is my example infographic of a lesson I hope to do in my future classroom. I use Easily to complete this, and it's just a basic graphic design practice, getting to know my students. And then I have screencasting, and for this I did a 1-point perspective lesson that you can also find on my YouTube. And this is just, nice to show students at home. They can watch these kind of videos at home. And then lastly, I have virtual field trips, and I did the Temple of Dendur, and these are just nice so I can show my students and give them this experience without having to spend the money and travel with them all the way to New York to see the Temple of Dendur. And that is my Weebly website. Thank you.